Metal Man. And it's been a minute. How are you? I hope everyone that's watching my channel is doing well, and if you're not doing well, I hope you have better days ahead. Because I certainly have been through a crucible, which I'm not going to talk about here. Doing better now, though. What I wanted to talk about is the importance of patience when it comes to music and not judging it off the first listen. You see, a lot of people will listen to a song or an album or a band once, based off of their first listen of a band or a song or an album. They'll decide, instantly whether they like it or not. And it's your life, do what you want, but if you really want to dive deep into music and really understand it, I don't think that's really adequate. A lot of, I can probably count on one hand the amount of music that I listened to that I instantly fell in love with. The first time I listened to Dissection Storm of the Light's Bane, I was too busy being terrified, to be honest, to enjoy the music because of the black metal, the satanic themes, and all that jazz. Although looking back, it wasn't really, the lyrical themes on there aren't really satanic. It's more dark fan and medieval stuff. And when I listened to Emperors in the Nightside Eclipse the first time, I was just listening to it while playing Skyrim and I thought, this is pretty good. It wasn't like I was blown away by it the first time. I thought, okay, I could listen to this again. And then it was like, okay, this is decent. But as I started listening to it, I started picking up on all the different layers that were going on. The counterpoint to two or more melodies going on at the same time with a guitar. So you have one guitar playing one thing and another guitar playing another. And then you'd have the keyboards going, and then you'd have Faust pounding away on the drums. Although Faust did some horrible stuff. He did something horrible, which I'm not going to talk about, which you can look up. He still was an excellent drummer. But the point is, and I can't remember who I heard mention this, a lot of music reviewers, as soon as an new album drops, they'll listen to it once and then they'll write an entire review based on that. It's like, have you really sat with the music? Have you really let the music kind of soak in? And it's especially important when listening to music that's, I don't want to sound pretentious here. I've got nothing against simplistic music. Johnny Cash's American Recording Store, which is mainly just covers and basic chord songs, one of my favorite albums of all time. But when you're listening to more complicated, more complex, more multi-layered music, like Opeth, especially during the Still Life, Blackwater Park, the death metal era, death growl era. So like Opeth with, say, Blackwater Park, there's a lot going on. There are two guitars, and then there are guitars that do overdubs. Then there are the vocals, and there are the backing vocals. There's a lot of dissonance going on. There's a lot of harmony. Blackwater Park by Opeth is a very thick album, and it's a lot to process. You can't. It took me I didn't really like it at first, if I'm being honest. But as I started listening to it, the first song that really clicked for me was Bleak. And as I started listening to it, I started picking up on the melodies and the hooks and this or that, and gradually I fell in love with it. It was the exact same, going kind of backtracking here, going back to Emperors in the Nightside Eclipse. I gradually fell in love with the first song, ironically, interestingly enough, that I fell in love with off that album was the first one, Into the Infinity of Thoughts. I love the riff, and then when the keyboard kicks in, it just gives me chills just even thinking about it. And this is not just applicable with, say, heavy metal music. This is also applicable with classical music. Classical music particularly. We can debate all day which genre requires more skill. Metal from classical, I would say it depends on the subgenre of metal you're talking about, because, like, as a classical guitar player, yes, I do play classical guitar. I can barely, like, I probably couldn't even play a beginner level neoclassical song if there was any sweep picking in it, because I can't sweep pick worth jack. But I could play a beginner classical guitar song, and I know a few. But anyway, this is, as I was saying, rambling here, sorry. This is especially true with classical music, like when Bach's laying down the counterpoint, laying it on thick with the counterpoint on his fugue in D minor. Like, even though it's just like one piece, like I listen to it sometimes because I have a lot of fun picking out the melodies, and that song is also metal as heck. I'm sorry, it's not a song, it's a piece. Complicated explaining the difference, but anyway. But yeah, and another example, my favorite classical album, I use quotation marks because I don't really know what to call it, Requiem in D minor, Mozart's Mass, is probably my favorite coherent collection of classical pieces. Either that or Chopin's Nocturnes. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. Some people say Chopin, some people say Chopin. I'm not sure. But the point is, with Mozart's Requiem, when you got the opera going on, when the fat lady's singing, and you're mixing them with like all the other instruments and stuff like that, like, you can't just instantly decide whether or not you like it on the first listen, because like you have to pick everything apart. And it's getting much easier for me to digest music more quickly and make my decision whether or not I like it or not. Because over time, and you can thank black metal for this, due to the absolute wretched production on black metal, my ear has grown more sophisticated in picking out all these melodies and counterpoint. Let me give you an example. Inoa Satana. At first I couldn't pick it out, but there's actually a counterpoint going on where the guitar is like your standard harmonic minor kind of chord progression, except this tremolo picked in. It's just with the other guitar and the keys. It's just, oh, it sounds absolutely gorgeous, so beautiful. But yeah, that's my so my point is, if you're getting into like the deep stuff, like progressive metal, classical, neoclassical, don't expect to instantly start like loving it right away, because like it's a lot to process, and yeah, just show some patience. I don't know if anyone understood what I was saying. I'm sorry if this came across as like super pretentious and stuff, But I feel like in our culture where everyone like just wants everything like that, now I sound like a boomer here. Everyone's gonna be commenting, okay boomer, okay boomer. Like, people oftentimes treat music like background noise rather than something to sit down and really digest and dissect in their minds. And to me, that's just kind of sad. Like, these people pour their heart and soul into their craft, and I think, like, I feel like I owe them, the proper respect by actually, sitting down and listening to what they're doing. Sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie here. I do walk around and do stuff, but like, I don't know. Just appreciate the music. I probably sound like a boomer saying this. But like, yeah, this is probably an incoherent rant that no one's gonna understand, and people are gonna misinterpret Nine Waves from Sunday, and I'm ready to get some flack for this. Whatever, man. So yeah, this is just my ramble about whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great night, everyone.